history of your first name? And also, in the first half of the game last night, not to oversimplify, but there was a play where I think Joey missed a shot. Florida State's dribbling the ball up. He steals it from behind, kicks it to one of your guys for a three-pointer. Would that kind of be a nutshell of how your team plays, the fact that it kind of never gives up kind of deal?
Yeah, we have a very resilient group, and there's been countless plays like that in the 2 years that I've had the opportunity to coach these guys. They never give up, and we rarely play perfect basketball, but basketball is a game of mistakes. Even the best teams, even a Kansas at 35-2, you're going to make some mistakes out there. And the key is obviously how you respond, what you do next. And our guys, to a man, particularly during this NCAA tournament run, have done a great job responding. As for my name, it's about the best thing my dad ever did for me because I was raised primarily by my mom. But Shaka is an African name named after a king in southern Africa who united hundreds of thousands of people. He was a warrior. He was a tough dude. And my dad chose to name me after him. You may have seen the movie Shaka Zulu. That's who I'm named after. So when I was growing up, and still to this day, I get kidded a lot about that. You know, people call me that, or maybe Shaka Khan, different things. Doesn't bother me. I've heard it all before.
Hi, Shaka. Greg Doyle from CBSSports.com. Do not mean this as a backhanded compliment. I'm a huge Shaka fan. But you are kind of the flavor of the month right now. What's it like being you, experiencing going from who you were a month ago? You're the same guy, but the world didn't know who you were, and now the world knows who you are.
First of all, Greg, you're a lot younger looking in person than that. They got to change that picture.
So are you.
They got to change that picture online, man. One of the best things about the NCAA tournament is I finally get a chance to meet guys like you. It's something that goes with the territory of playing and advancing in the NCAA tournament. It's just the way that our basketball culture works. It's not necessarily right or fair. It just is what it is. And I try not to get caught up in that. My wife tries not to get caught up in that. The reality is I have a phenomenal opportunity to be the coach at a school that I love and to every single day work with players that I absolutely adore and care about. And that's where my focus is, and that's where my focus will be.
From Gannett. Two things. One, do you remember the first time you thought about wanting to be a coach and what inspired that? And second of all, what are some of your memories from the days at Kenyon?
Well, I just wanted to be involved in basketball as long as I could. And I remember when I first got into coaching, I remember thinking to myself, well, this coaching stuff is not as good as playing. And it's something about being out there as a player and being in the middle of it all. But obviously you can't play forever. And my coach that recruited me to play college basketball at Kenyon College, he left after my freshman year. He broke my heart. And I guess the positive of that was he told me when he left, he said he wanted me to come work for him when I graduated. So that was kind of my plan after college, to go with him. I had coached my younger brother in some kid leagues, and I enjoyed it, got a kick out of it, thought it was fun. I knew nothing about college coaching and the work ethic part of it and the off-the-court part of it, but I gave it a shot, and I loved it. I got a chance to get some great experience early, and then when I got into Division I coaching at Dayton under Oliver Purnell, I got kind of a taste of big-time basketball, and it was something that I really wanted to be a part of and just wanted to keep learning and keep getting better.
But could you discuss the challenges of preparing for a team like Kansas on short notice, a team that has a Big 12 Player of the Year and a lot of different, not just depth, but a lot of players that can really influence the game?
Well, if we had a month to prepare for Kansas, that stuff wouldn't change. So it's not so much the short notice. It's more a matter of finding ways to slow down their personnel and to counteract the terrific system they have. They have a great offensive system, and they really get after you defensively. Coach Self has done a great job putting the pieces he has in the right spots and moving them around at the right times so that if you try to defend them in a certain way, they can really make you pay. So there's really no correct way to guard Kansas other than the fact that you really got to do a great job personnel-wise, taking away what they do best. You've got to be aggressive. I thought, just watching the Richmond game on tape from last night, I thought Kansas was far and away the aggressor in that first half, really setting the tone. And the game was pretty much over once they set that tone. Like I said, we've got to stand toe-to-toe with them. And it's not easy to do. You're talking about a #1 seed, a team that I vote in the USA Today ESPN coaches poll every week all season long, and there were several times I voted for Kansas as the #1 team in the country. So I've got a ton of respect for Coach Self and his team, and it's going to be a heck of a challenge.
Post, apologize if this has already been asked, but I understand your grandfather was a big influence in your life. I heard he's in bad health. How is he right now? And what influence did he have on you?
My grandfather's not doing so well. He's in I guess they call it hospice care. So he's just trying to enjoy his last days, and he lives in Chicago, Illinois. And in terms of the influence he had on me, he was the strongest male influence in my life. My dad really wasn't around, and my grandfather was in Chicago. I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, which is a couple hours away. So I didn't see him a lot, but when I did, he taught me a lot of valuable lessons that I'm able to apply today. He taught me about humility. He taught me a lot about manners, how to treat people, how to express appreciation when people do things for you. He's always, ever since I was in college, cut out every single article in the Chicago Tribune and Chicago Sun-Times that had anything to do with basketball and mailed it to me wherever I lived. And I'm gonna miss those clippings. But he's been a great source of inspiration for me. He's a guy that started with nothing and really made a great life for himself and his family. And he's a guy I love very much.
You mentioned on Friday that you would tell us after the game what you were using for motivation. You said that it's more the, clips of people talking bad about your team. And do you have any sort of motivational things up your sleeve for this one?
Yeah, more of the same. You want to know what I used for this past game, you're asking? Well, we put together another tape, and it was all the pundits, prognosticators, and their picks for the Florida State game. And, there's so many guys on TV now that make these picks that it's pretty impressive when you put them all together. So it just kept saying Florida State, Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. And then, Jay Billis went on, and which is our favorite guy, and he talked about their length is really going to bother VCU, and they're going to have trouble shooting the ball because of their length. And then a couple other guys went on, and so that's what we used for the Florida State game. Obviously, it'll be more of the same for Kansas. I saw something last night. One of my assistants showed me something where it said Kansas now has a 44% chance of winning the national championship, and we have a 0.9% chance. So it's kind of like the movie Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying we got a chance. That's how our guys are. If we have a chance, if there's an opportunity for us to go do it, then we're going to put everything into it, and we're not going to stop until that chance is zero. And there's no question right now there is an opportunity for us.